Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyana Mitra Suki-Hontu. I'm Ayana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 69 by Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima. Tonight's class is the 20th class of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, and we are going to continue discussing about Dhamma I or Dhammacakku. Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is the 5th sutta from the total of 10 suttas that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman-Pradana Klang's Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous 68 classes there. The Sutta discussion Zoom class is always open. Therefore, whoever that wishes to join the class via Zoom, where we can engage directly with Bhante, can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman-Pradana Klang's Facebook Messenger. We are always welcoming newcomers. Our speaker, Bhante Dr. Ganggodawila Chandima, is the associate editor of the journal. Is the associate editor of the Journal of International Buddhist Studies, or JIBS, which is published by the Buddhist Research Institute of Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University in Thailand. He was previously a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society, or CSRS, from University of Victoria, Canada. Bhante Dr. Chandima was also a Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada, from 2012 to 2016. Bhante is currently the senior advisor to Ti-Ratana, a virtual Dhamma organization that hosts a weekly online Pali reading class, Sutta discussion, Dhamma talk, and a variety of other Dhamma activities. His Dhamma work can be accessed at http://Ti-Ratana.blogspot.com. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante, and thank you very much for the wonderful talk.
Thank you, Aliana, for the introduction. Good evening, everybody. So we will be discussing today something we can see at the end of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Before that, let's get started by paying homage to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Welcome back, everybody. So we have Lim, Aliana, Shim, Kelvin, Maya, Lim Saku, Barbara, Hema, Suresh. I hope that some others might join during the time. So, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta's one of the interesting parts is discussing about Dhammacakku, Dhamma I. And now we have come to the sections where the Ti-Parivatta Dwadasakara, what do you call it, Four Noble Truths that have been associated with Ti-Parivatta Dwadasakara section have been almost finished. And then how does the, what do you call, the exploration of, what do you call, the Four Noble Truths was go to different heavens and I would say Brahmalokas. That was what we see after that. Let's go to the text. (118). Okay, 118 to 167. So we might skip some of the repetitive statements just to save the time. All right, but this part we cannot skip. Venerable Kondanya becomes a Sotapan. Who is Venerable Kondanya? Let me ask from you, in case you don't have, I would say, some background knowledge about who he is. Who is Kondanya? I would say Venerable Kondanya here.
That's first disciple, is it?
Yeah, it's the first 5 disciples whom the Buddha decided to teach. And he was like, went into Sotapanna state. After
You could
listening to the first sermon.
You could say first Arya Savaka.
Yes.
Yeah, but can we find more information about him? Are there any more information about him before he became one of the 5 ascetics?
All these are forgotten after doing my Dhamma
I
course.
think he went to cultivate together with the Buddha, is it? Before Buddha become Buddha, Siddhartha, right? He's one of those who went together with him.
He's one of the people who foresaw Buddha's future when he was a baby.
That's the story. So there were 8 Brahmins who were called upon to the palace by King Suddhodana to foresee, to prognosticate about the future of this new baby, especially for the naming ceremony. At that time, most of them, I would say 7 out of 8 said that this child is going to be either a Sammasambuddha or a Chakravarti Raj. One of the, I can hear some prayers. Right. So then there was one Brahmin who precisely said this baby would be the Sammasambuddha for sure. That was this Konda, right? But then you might perhaps be puzzled why then he left the Buddha at the time, because he later joined the group of 5 monks. But they advise ascetic Siddhartha that you should pursue the ascetic path, the painful practices. Prince Siddhartha, ascetic Siddhartha thought, yes, I would follow what you said, but he himself understood that this would not take me to any progress in my path. Then he gave up the practice, and he thought there should be a practice that does not fall into extreme pain and extreme happiness. But the problem was Kondanya, that Brahmin, he did not understand that there was another way to become the Buddha. But he knew that he would be the Buddha one day, but he didn't know how he would become the Buddha. For whatever the reason, he is the first person who understood the Buddha's Dhamma in a, I would say, attainment context. A lot of people understand Buddhism from different ways, but he was able to attain the first level, Sotapan. Now, how many Dhamma talks we've been listening to, right? But it's not about the Dhamma talks issue for the most part. It's about us. We have not been able to make the move to the next level. Like Prince Siddhartha left the palace by looking at the dancing ladies who were open mouth, disheveled, right? And there were a lot of things happen, but how many people looked at sight everywhere in the world, right? But not many people could understand. I mean, I'm not saying that we should pick on the ladies, but I mean, not many people understand such phenomena in a way that how they appear to such being, right? Even how many of us daily get to see sick people? I mean, mentally, physically sick people. How many of us have been hearing that people pass away? Recently, I think yesterday about the plane crash somewhere, right? And there were 2 people who were on the highway. They were killed because of this plane fell on the car, right? Isn't it? Yeah. So how do we relate that incident? Like they were just driving on the highway, and who knows that this is going to fall into our car? How do we understand that? That you could say that plane crash could be a collective karma or something, but we don't know. But how do we relate that particular driver, how we fell onto that particular car?
That is certain. But
That is certain, but that particular moment. And you know, sometimes ago, there was an incident that happened in somewhere, in Indonesia or somewhere. There was an eagle carrying a snake, cobra, up in the sky. Then after a while, the eagle lost the cobra. Maybe there was not enough grip in the sky. It fell onto a biker on the highway or somewhere. Cobra stung him, he passed. Interesting, huh? The cobra was going to be swallowed by the eagle somewhere in the jungle, forest. But somehow he lost it and then fell onto the road. And there was somebody precisely fell onto that bike area, the bike. And Cobra was very upset about, angry because what was happening to him. And he stung, the guy died on the way. So how do we relate these incidents? Are they really karmas? Yeah, we could say, because we don't know what it is.
It's karma, is it?
Yeah, so yeah, things like that can happen. Now, going back to our understanding that not all of us can relate these normal things that we see on a daily basis into our personal life. How many sick people we are seeing, how many dead ones we are, experiencing by hearing and by seeing. Then how many things about decay, aging we get to see. How many Buddhist things we get to hear on a daily basis. But how many of us have been able to make the move to the next level? I think the most important aspect in that issue is we have not been able to put into our personal practice really well. Right? That is the main issue. All right. So Anya Kondanya became, his name is Kondanya. Anya means, you can see over there. You can see why he was called as Anya. Normally his name is Kondan. All right. You can see here, this part. Anyasi vatabhu Kondan. Anyasi. Anyasi means understood. Understood. This is the ending sections of the Dhammacakkappavattana. We have to look at it just to understand why he was called as Anya, not just Kondan. Anya. Anya means he understood the Four Noble Truths very well, and he was called as Anya, not Kondanya. Anya, Kondan. Kondanya has been understood. Anya, see. Going back to the section today. All right. Let me read. Idam avocha bhagava. Now we say idam avocha bhagava. That would be the best way to say that. Idam avocha. You could add M here. Idam avocha bhagava. Attamana pancha bhagya bhikkhu bhagavatu bhasitam abhinandunti. Imasmincha pana veya karanasmi Bhanyamaniya. This could be a little difficult point for some people. Bhanyamaniya. See these two ends, how they were given. Bhanyamani. While it was being spoken. Bhanyamani. Ayasmatu kondanyasa. Again. Nya, nya, nya. Nya, nya, nya. Bhanyamani. Kondanyasa. Virajang vitamala. Dhammacakkappavattana udapadi. Yang kinchi samudaya dhammang sabbantang nirodha dhamma. Yeah. Now, the foundation of the Dhammacakku is what you see in the 123rd and 124th sections. This is none other than the Paticca Samuppada, cause and effect theory in Buddhism. All right, who would like to read? From 118 to 124. Yeah.
Bhante,
Oh, really? Good. Second, yes.
idam avocha bhagawa atamanan pancawajiwa bhikkhu bhagavato
Oh,
vasitang
sorry about it. Yeah, give me a second. Yeah.
abhinato ti.
Can you go again? 119?
Atamanan pancawajiya bhikkhu bhagavato vasitang abhinato ti.
This part is not J. This is not J. This is G. Then how should we read this?
Wakiya.
Attamana pancha, not Vajya. Pancha Vaggiya. Vaggiya.
Oh, wakiya.
Bhikkhu.
Ataman bhikkhu. Bhikkhu bhagavato vasitang abhinato ti.
Abhinandunti.
Abhinantunti.
Okay.
Ismame cha pana veya kararasmi banyamane. Ayasmato kondanasa virajang vitamalang. Dhammacakkum udapadi yakinci samudaya dhammang. Sabangtang nirodha dhammanti.
All right, great. Who else? You can raise your hand over here. Yeah. Kim, yeah, just go ahead.
Idam avoka bhagawa.
Avocha, not ka. Cha.
Avocha bhagawa.
Yeah.
Atamana pancawa giya bhikkhu bhagavato basitam abhinandunti. Imasmin cha panya veya karanasmin banye nama mane.
Banya mani.
Banya mani. Banya namini.
No, banya mani.
Banya mani.
Yeah, great. Banya mani.
Ayasmato kondanyasa virajan vitamalan. Dhammacakkappavattana udapadi. Yam kinci samudaya dhammang sabe tang narodamang ti.
Okay, I think the last part was not properly given. Sabbang.
Sabang tang nirodamang ti.
Sorry, we can separate that from here. Sabbantang nirodha dhammanti.
Nirodha dhammang ti.
Okay, great. Yeah. She's taking up the challenge anywhere. I want to read it just to get familiar. Who else?
Okay, I read Bhante.
Brother Wu? Yes.
Idam avocha bhagava atamana panjavagiya bhikkhu bhagavato basitam abinan donti imasmincha pana veya karanasmi pana mane ayasmato kodanasa virajam vittamalam Dhammacakkum udapadi yam kinci samudaya dhaman sabantam nirodamanti
You had the same issue here. Nirodha Dhammanti.
Niroda Damanti.
Can you say this name, Brother Wu? Ayasmato? Ayasmato? 121.
Ayasmato kondanasa virajam.
Kondanyasa.
Kondanasya. Kondanasya virajam.
Yes. Some people might, why the names of the Buddha's disciples are so difficult to pronounce? The first person's name, Kondanya. Okay.
Kondanya.
Yes. So because he predicted that he would be the Buddha, he was able to become the first Arya Savaka of his Bodhisattva, right? Okay, others? Yeah, Barbara? Yeah.
Atamana Pancha Vagidam.
Can you please start from 180?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Dham Avocha. I'm doing it from my phone, Bhante. So it's
Okay.
the words are a bit small. Can you maybe
maybe I can zoom it. Let me see.
Oh, because the phone is very
How
small.
is it now?
Yes, but
Better?
much better. Yeah, yes. Okay. Idam avocha bhagava atamana pancha giya bhikkhu bhagavato basitam abhinanduti. Imasmin cha panya veya karanasmin banam mane.
Yeah, you have come to the difficult area. All right. Imas means pana. You can follow me. Imas means pana.
Oh, sorry. It must mean panya.
Let's separate out. Veya karanasmi.
Karanasmin banam mane.
Here banya.
Banya
Mane.
mane.
All right.
Ayasmo kondanasa virajam vitamalam Dhammacakkum udapati.
Right. Next two. Yang Kinchi.
You mean me to finish up to what number?
Yeah, you haven't finished. Go ahead for another two sections.
Two more. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Dhammacakkum udapadi yam kinchi samudaya mam. Yeah, next one is it? 1 to 4. See 1 to 4.
1 to 4.
1 to 2. Yeah, that's the end. I thought you are looking at my screen. Looks like you are looking at your screen.
No, the hand is
I made it. Okay.
No, the hand was blocking the words. Okay.
Okay.
Sabantam niroda damanti.
Okay. Good effort. Huh?
Sorry.
Pronunciation is a journey. Huh? It's a journey. We call it pronunciation journey. All right. So, yeah. Yeah. Who else?
Okay, Bhante, I read.
Yes, Hema. Yes.
Idam avocha bhagawa. Atamana pana pancha wagiya biku bhagavato ba sitam abhinantu. Sorry, my
Abhinandunti. Actually, here it has to be. Yeah. I think there was a issue. This one.
Space.
Yeah, no space here.
No space.
Abhinandunti.
Abhinandunti imans mincha pana veya karanas min banyamani.
What is it? How do we say that?
Mane.
Banyamane. Banyamane.
Mane.
Maybe you can, maybe when you read that kind of a difficult sentence, you can separate out. I can pause.
Pause.
Yeah, you can have a pause, but you have to know where you have to pause. Otherwise, you will pause wherever you want. Imas mean the pana veya karanas mean banya mane.
Okay.
Yes.
So ayasmato kondanayasa virajam vitamalam. Dhammacakkum udapadi yam kinci samudaya dhammam. Sabbantam nirodha dhammanti.
Okay, great.
Sorry.
Others? Yeah, Aliana.
Idang avoca bhagawa atamana pancawagiya bhikkhu bhagavato basitam abhinandunti imasmin ca panaveya karamnasmin banyamane ayamato kondanya sa virajam vitamalam dhammacakkum udapadi yang kinci samudaya dhammang sabantang nirodha dhammanti. Nirodha.
Sorry about that. I have been muted. All right, limbs of code.
Okay, Bhante, that's right.
Yeah, let me go up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Idam avoca bhagava atamana pancava hiya bhikkhu bhagavato pasitam abhinandunti emasmin ca panya viya karani nasmin banya mane.
How do you say that?
Banya mane.
No, banya mane. Banya mane.
Banya mane.
Banya mane.
Banya mane. Ayasmato kondananya.
Again, same two letters. Again,
Kondanesa.
Not nyasa. Kondanyasa.
Kondanyasa. So tough the word, kondanyasa. Virajam. Vitamalang. Dhammacakkum udapadi yam kinci samadaya dhamman. Sabantang nirodha dhammanti.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Naya? Yes. Okay, I will go on. Yes.
Idang avoca bhagava atamana panca vagiya bhikkhu bhagavato basitang abhinandut imasmin cha pana veya karanasmin bahnyamani ayas mato kondyanyasa virajang vita malang Dhammacakkappavattana yang kinci samudaya damang samantang nirodha damanti.
This part, Ayan, okay?
Sabantang
Uh-huh.
nirodha damanti.
Okay. These two are connected, right? Whatever it says, and this will be answered for the origination. All right. I think now we are going to the translation and the contextual part. As I told you earlier, at this point we understand how Venerable Konanya became the first Arya Savaka, I would say, became the Sotapanna. Idama Vocha Bhagava, the Blessed One said thus. Now, Idama Vocha Bhagava, so that means this is in a form of like reported speech, right? This is in the form of reported speech. The Buddha said, Attamana Panchavagya Bhikkhu. Attamana Panchavagya Bhagavato Bhasita Abhinati. Attamana means, how do we understand this word? Attamana means they were uplifted, they were happy, right? They were happy, uplifted. But there's another word coming up, Abhinanti. Abhinanti. They were uplifted. I would say they were happy. At the same time, they were happy to what the Buddha said. And Abhinandanti, they also were rejoiced in what was said by the Buddha. So happy and then rejoice. Now, basically, if you want to give merits to share good merits to other people, you should be happy first, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
You go to the temple, maybe you do a dana, but you are not happy, you are going to share the karma with other people. Actually, do you think that you already created the karma? I don't think so, because you are not happy. Happiness is the karma, good karma. But if you are not happy, that means it should have been an akusala. You are not happy. You are maybe you are sad about it. Right? So, in the first place, they were happy and they were also rejoiced in what was said by the Buddha. All right. Imas means now it is something interesting that is going to be said here. Now, the sutta informs us that what happened at this point. Imas means pana veyyakaranasmi. Veyyakaranasmi. Bhanyamani. Veyyakaran. What is Veyyakaran? Veyyakarana is a part of the canon, early canon. I would say a category. Now, if you go back, now we don't see Tipitaka at the time of the Buddha. He does not use the word Tipitaka for his Dhamma. Right? What he used was Dhamma and Vinaya. Every time he says, my Dhamma Vinaya. Now, monks were very concerned about what would happen after the Buddha's passing away. So when the Buddha said, I would pass away in 3 months of time, they were very unhappy in a way that who would be our next successor, teacher? Then they asked the Buddha, who would be our successor? He said, my Dhamma and Vinaya would be your successor. Why did he not appoint a successor? There were many Arahants at that time. Arahant Sariputta was already gone. Arahant Moggallana was also gone, so no two chief disciples. But Arahant Mahakassapa was in the forest. He knew that he would come and then intervene and then take a role actually at that point. But why he did not appoint somebody? What do you think about it? Let's rationalize this point. Why he did not want to have a successor. When monks are very worried, what would happen to us, right?
Bhante, could it be because monks will go also, like Arahant also can pass away or leave, whatever. So it's good to have a group rather than one person or two person. That's my opinion.
Idea, yes. A group can do better than one person, but the problem is the guidance, vision, somebody to, that if you look at a company, a country, you can't say that democracy means that everybody can rule the country. So there's somebody who can keep up with a group of people, right? Normally our contemporary understanding is that although we have to go as a group, but there should be somebody who can be a visionary person about that particular area to guide us, right? Barbara, you have something to say? Yeah, please unmute. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not everybody has a caliber of the Buddha, and it is not permanent. It can be very short term, and after that again they have to look for somebody. So I think the Buddha was very wise not to appoint just one person. So the Dhamma Vinaya is a really great decision he made, actually. Yeah.
It's very true. Buddha's caliber cannot be passed down to anybody.
Yeah.
It is not something it was given to him by anybody. It was something he has been fulfilling for many 100,000, maybe billions, trillion years. So he cannot simply say, okay, now even the story of monk Devadatta. You know who Devadatta is? Now Devadatta was the kind of the conflicting monk at that point. He thought, I can kill the Buddha and I can become the Buddha. How was that idea? And then he instigated King Ajasatta. He was a prince at that point. You kill your father, you get the kingship. I kill the Buddha, I become the Buddha. So he instigated Ajasatta to kill the father, Kimbimbisan. Right? And then he said, I would take the Buddhahood. So he didn't understand that this is not something that passed down as a legacy to other person, right? Anyways, so he used Dhamma Vinaya. Right? But then what is the term called Navanga Sattu Sasana? There was an early, even the Buddha used that at some point. He said, my Dhamma is made up of 9 sections. Sutta, Giya, Vyakarana, Gatha, Itivuttaka, so and so forth. There is Vyakarana. Now let's see what is Vyakarana. I can show you by searching. I bring it up over here. Navanga. Sattu Sasana. See, Navanga Sattu Sasana. All right. 9 divisions of the teachings of the Buddha. The teachings of the Buddha are divided into 9 categories. They are prose sections. We call them sutta. Teachings or suttas or prose expounding the doctrine in detail. What is it called? Vyakarana. Look at this word. Vyakarana. See that? Vyakarana. That means Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta can be more likely a part of this section. Vya, third part. Then some teachings were just in gathas, stanzas. Can you give me an example for that? There are some teachings that the Buddha entirely gave in verses. Can you give me a name of something?
Ti-Ratana Sutta.
Ti-Ratana Sutta, yes. Yeah, there are verses. But can you go for a very simple, popular book? Dhammapada. They are all line stanzas, right? That is a good example of what you call stanzas. Then Udana. Solemn utterances. What are they? There were times that the Buddha he explained about his some of the very important events. Like, for example, even Prince Siddhartha, once he was born, he was said to have spoken, right? What he spoke. Ago hamasmi lokasa, jetto hamasmi lokasa, setto hamasmi lokasa, I am antima, I am the greatest, I am the highest, so and so forth. So there is an exclamation. If you take what he said right at the time he became the Buddha, it is also Udan. What was it? What he said right at the point of his Buddhahood. He was happily sharing something. It came out to him. He said, Aneka jati sansarang sandha vissang anibhisang gahakarakang gave santu dukha jati punapuna gahakaraka dittosi punagihan kahasi sabbati pasuka bagga gahakutang visakya visankara gatang chittang tanhanang kayamachika. So onwards. Aneka jati sansarang, true and infinite number of sansaric lives. Aneka jati sansarang, sandha visang anibhisang, I've been actually wandering. Gahakarakang gavi santo, I've been looking for the carpenter who is making this sansara, the bridges of the sansara. Gahakaraka ditto, I found him. Finally, I found the carpenter who is making this house of sansara. Punagihan, he will not create another house for me. Interesting, huh? See that expression, like he was saying, condensing, summarizing all his experience. And then, Gahakaraka dittosi punagehandaka. Sabbate bhasuka bagga gahakutang visakya. I have destroyed the ability of the carpenter to create the house, to construct the house with not even the house, but with his rich poles. The rich pole, the whole structure has been demolished and destroyed by Visankara Gatan Chitta. My mind is now on Visankara, not on Sankara. Interesting, huh? Now our mind is on Sankara. What is Sankara? Karma. Now even at this point you are making karma too, discussing Dhamma, looking at me, what I'm teaching, you are making Sankaras. But his mind was now mounted on Visankara. That is not Sankara. That is, I would say, non-Sankara. When someone attains Nibbana, no Sankaras are being created. Tanhanang kayamachaka. Tanha has been uprooted, not just been superseded, not been withdrawn. Now we can withdraw our tanha for some time. Huh? Let's say if you want to be sugarless for a week, you would say, okay, no more cravings. No more cravings for a week. But on the 8th day, I want to compensate for the whole week. Now I'm going to eat. Compensate for 7 days. Junk food, being chocoholic and all that, right? And then looking for different stuff. Maybe we're going to, I would say, cover up the experience that you could not for the week. But the Buddha, he uprooted. So this is Udan. Then when he was going to pass away, what was his Udan? Now he was going to pass away.
Strive on with effort.
Yes, that's the translation. Huh? How do we say that? Vaya Dhamma Sankara Appamadena Sampadeta. He passed away. Again Sankara. See, there he says Visankara. My mind is on now Visankara, non-Sankara. Here he said, Vaya Dhamma, you people, you have Sankara a lot. Unenlightened people. So you have to understand all Sankaras are subject to Vaya changes, impermanence. And then he said, Vaya Dhamma Sankara Appamadena Sampadeta. Strive on with diligence. Appamadi. So these are Udaharas, additional knowledge. Huh? And then here, Jataka stories. Sorry, short discourses beginning the words, thus spake the Buddha, iti buddhaka. Then Jataka, Buddha's past stories, being a bodhisattva. And narrations of miracles of Buddha Dhamma. There are things like that in canon. Finally, Vedal, Q&A type of teachings. Discourses consisting of teachings in the form of Q&A. Now, I wanted to show you this thing, Vayakara, because this is the word that was given at the end of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. What does it mean? It means explanations in prose, not in verse, expounding the doctrine in detail. Now that means Dhamma teachings can be explained in both verse and prose. And there are many places Dhamma was explained in verse. But in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, most of the details have been explained in prose. We say it's a Vayyakarana type of one type of Dhamma teaching. Right? Understood? All right. So, imasmin chapana Vayyakaranaasmin banyamani. Now, while this discourse, now we have to add what kind of discourse is that? What kind of discourse is this? A discourse which has primarily prose as explanations. Banyamani being spoken. Ayasmatu kondanyas virajang vitamana. Ayasmatu. What is ayasmatu?
Venerable.
Venerable. You could say ayasmatu. It has ayusha in a way, that means long live. So venerable, we could say venerable. Kondanyas. Now what is happening in Kondanya is very important. Venerable Kondanya. Now he is getting up to a certain attainment at this point. Virajam, Vitamala, Dhammacakkappavattana. Now Dhammacakkappavattana means here Dhamma eye. What kind of Dhamma is this? Sotapanna. When you attain Sotapanna, we call you are entering into you are getting the Dhamma eye. Till that point, you have the naked eye. Only when you attain Sotapanna, you are gaining the Dhamma eye. Dhamma eye has been explained. How it was explained? Look at this word. Virajam, Vitamana. Let's talk about it. Virajam. What is Virajam?
That's 3.
Dust free. What kind of dust is that? Trash, garbage, rubbish. Huh?
Defilements.
Defilements. I would say Raja. Raja means, so I would say asavas.
Asavas.
Yeah, primarily asavas. So no rajas. Raja means asavas. No rajas. Pita malang. Mala means stain. Or in simple English, I would call it rusty. When anything become rusty, let's say when your knife become rusty, can you cut things very well? You can't. That is why you have to cut it all the time with the knife, without making it a rustic knife. So you can cut it properly. But what if you cut wrong things with the knife? Knife will become not sharper. Right? That is why when you know the Dhamma, you have to do the right thing. You have to use it for the right purpose. Otherwise, it will become rusty. Even a scissor. When you are using scissor for the wrong thing, scissor will become?
Blunt.
Yes. So it will get rusty at a certain point. So now the rust here means, or the stains here means, again another word for the defilement. So asanas. Right now his mind is out of the mala. Vita mala. Vita means, now we have words called vi and vita, right? Vi and vita. All these are words of anti. Anti means, now when you say Raja, vi Raja means, that means I would say free from, probably free from the rest of the part, free from defilements, asanas. Vitamala, free from rust. That means another word for the defilements. Then whenever our mind is free from defilements or asanas, and I would say when it is free from stains or rust, then our mind is going to be advanced at that point, and then we are going to be equipped with Dhamma eye. Dhamma eye arises within our naked eye. Dhammacakku. Dhammacakku. Now the word Dhammacakku is pretty much connected to the topic of the sutta, Dhammacakka, but this is Dhammacakku. Dhammacakka means the wheel of the Dhamma, because now we know why it is going to be a wheel now after this. It has to go to different places. Nobody can do this. Monk Devadatta didn't know. This is why the Buddha did not appoint a successor. Other people cannot set the wheel in motion. Only the Buddha can, Samma Sambuddha can set the wheel in motion. So he simply said, there is nobody to carry on as the Buddha after me. You take Dhamma and Vinaya as the teacher. All right? Then this is very interesting. Now this is the, I would say, the bedrock. I would say the foundation of the Dhammacakka. When you have Dhammacakka, you understand this nature very well. Yang kinchi samudaya Dhamma, whatever is subject to origination. All that are subject to cessation. Sabbantang nirodha. So samudaya nirodha. Samudaya means origin, nirodha means ending. I would say cause is the samudaya. Then every cause has a, I would say, has an ending. That ending will create another cause. Actually, by becoming an arahant, we are going to break this circle. Samudaya and nirodha. Do we understand in our daily life samudaya and nirodha aspects? Now, how do we understand samudaya? What could be a good word for samudaya in our normal life? Sankata, asankata. Whatever that was made up is sankata. I would say sankhara. Okay, we talk about sankhara. We all are made up by somebody. Who made us? Who made us, dumb folks? Who made you? Come. Who made you?
Parents.
Our parents. Right? Parents made you. A desire between parents was the reason why we were made to be so. Evolutionary process. So then we are made up by somebody. Then sankhara, we are sankhara. We are conditioned. Another word is conditioned. We are conditioned by our parents. Our parents, were they conditioned by somebody? Or they were spontaneous? They were conditioned by their parents. Then how do we become unconditioned? Now this conditioning process keeps going. How can we become unconditioned or deconditioned?
Become a monk.
Is it so? Everybody will
Because you
become
got
monks.
to observe celibacy, to condition another being.
Then what about the people who became Sotapanna while become lay people? Vishaka, Anathapindika, there were many others, even Devas, right? And many others became Sotapanna. Then how do we look at that? That means becoming a monk is a choice. Maybe it is a choice that someone makes to feel it. Maybe in a very accelerated, fast-track process. But just because you become a monk, it does not guarantee you will become Sota. That thing we have to understand. Right? So regardless of being a layperson or monk, the understanding of the Dhamma, going beyond the literal sense, going beyond the knowledge, should be understood. So we are conditioned. We will be unconditioned or we will be deconditioned by breaking the Patisamuppada. We have to break it. Can we break it like a, what do you call, like a, I would say a glass? No, you can't do that. It has to be broken with a proper, what do you call, process. So that means you are going to break all the fetters. There are 10 fetters, and then you're going to stop the samsaric journey. Any questions so far? Because now we are going into the cry that was made in order to send the wheel, Dhamma wheel, in motion after this. Any questions so far? Yeah, Barbara?
Bhante, 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 can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Because I can't see you in the screen already. I must have cancelled. Okay, so if the Buddha said that the next Buddha will be the Maitreya, is it his own words? If it is his, is it a way to hint that right now there's nobody who has a caliber to replace me? So hinted that the next one will be a next Sambuddha will be the Maitreya, and he will continue to turn the Dhamma wheel. Is that correct?
Well, it is usual to see that every Samma Sambuddha gives a precise statement, Niyata Vyakarana, to another Bodhisattva who will become the Samma Sambuddha after long time, right? So, but there are long intervals between one Samma Sambuddha and the other Samma Sambuddha. Actually, it is not given in the sense of replacing the teacherhood. It is given as a Dhammata, as a universal law. So you can't think that it is kind of something that is being replaced from one Buddha's passing away onto the other Buddha's starting of time. So we simply think whatever happens to this universe, there are Samma Sambuddhas who are going to become Samma Sambuddhas within long intervals. That is how we have to take them. All right, so let's just keep on looking at the text from here. From here onwards, I'm not asking you to read because we have to save the time. The deities and the Brahmas cry. Now, was it a cry? Deities and Brahmas cry, rejoice in a sense. That means when the Buddha was presenting the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta's important aspect, that the Four Noble Truths along with the Ti-Ratana and Dhamacakkappavattana, Devas could not help not, I would say, making a cry, making a sound. So powerful, So the sound went from one place, I would say from the bottom place, from the bottom heaven to the rest of the heavens, high up, right? And then it went up until all the Brahma worlds too. Now we will see how it works. Pavattite Japana Bhagavata Dhammacakkappavattana. Now it is said that the Shakyamuni Buddha set Shakyamuni Buddha set the wheel of Dhamma in motion at this point. Now, how do we understand setting the wheel in motion? That means this teaching, presentation of the Four Noble Truths along with the Ti-Ratana and Dvadasakara context is the establishment of the Dhamma wheel in motion, because now it will go to other heavens and then human world, heavens, and then to Brahma world. So everybody gets to know, oh, something is going on now for the first time after a long period of time. After Buddha, who was the Buddha before him? Kassapa. Buddha Kassapa. There was a long interval that there was nothing about the Noble Truths. So now it has been going as a cry. First, where it went, where the wheel of Dhamma first went? Bhumma Deva Saddha Manusavya. Bhumma Deva. Now this is, we call it Saddha means cry. Manusavya, raised. First, earth dwelling deities, they felt it. Who are they actually? Earth dwelling, Bhumma Deva. Now let's talk about the Deva a little bit. Right? Bhumma Deva, who are they? The lowest Deva. They are not very powerful, definitely more powerful than humans, but lowest Deva. Where are they living?
Maybe on earth.
They live on Earth. Earth means, where is it? In the Jupiter, Mars, Venus. Where are they living?
In the
They are
trees.
living.
In the
That is
forest.
one type. Okay, we will talk about what are the different types of Bhummadeva. Now, at this point, what we understand, who are the Bhummadeva? Bhummadeva means terrestrial Deva, Devas on the ground. That means they are lower than the aerial Deva, sky Deva, right? So, what are the different types of Bhummadeva? Ground Deva, let's say ground Devas. Who are they? Rukka Devata, tree spirits. They are one type of Bhummadeva. Then Uyyana Devata. Devas in the
Cave.
where's it?
Caves. Not caves, is it? Cave.
Not
They
caves.
stay in the
Uyyana
caves.
means I would say orchards, or I would say playgrounds, maybe some places where a lot of trees are being maintained by city. Yeah, playgrounds, maybe forest reserves. Yeah. Then there are Samudra Devata, deities for the ocean. There are Nagara Devata, deities for the, and then there are house Deva. Every house has a Deva. Every house has a Deva. So the right to enter a house for a Deva depends on the virtuous side of the people who are living. Let's take a household where everybody is struggling, everybody is having a chaotic scenario, talking bad words. So Devas are running away from you, right? Devas are running away. Who are these people? Huh? They can't take those words, right? There is a very interesting story that we see in the Jatakas. One king wanted to construct a very big building for him, maybe another palace. Then he said, he asked from his people, maybe architects or construction people, find a very good place for me in the royal garden. It's a very, very big land. Then they found a very old tree, these people. Then what they said was that, they know the scene here. They said, okay, we are going to cut the tree in a week of time. Deva, please understand, please go to another tree. So they said to the tree, any Deva who is living here, please go to another tree. They respected, and then they covered that tree. They went back to the palace. Now Deva knew what is going to happen to him. To him, his sons, his daughters, everybody, they were in that tree. Then what happened? Deva thought, now when the tree was cut, that is my area. That Rukka Deva's area is the area where the tree is surrounded, expanded. He can't go anywhere else. That is his Viman. Then one night he thought, okay, I would go to the chamber, bed chamber of the king. Then he went in there. He said, dear king, I will be killed very soon. He said, who are you? I am the Deva in that tree. Don't cut me. You can cut me into pieces. You see, Deva is pleading from the king. This is the story in the Jataka story. Please do not do this for me. And I'm living there. I've been living for 300, 400 years in that tree with my kids. Don't do that. He was pleading. At the end, on the following morning, the king said to the architects, do not cut that tree. I'm going to give that tree as a sanctuary. Interesting. That means his devas were living. And remember the house deva of the Anathapindika's palace. Do you know who is Anathapindika?
Yes.
Who is Anathapindika?
The millionaire.
Anathapindika is the chief Dayaka who offered the Jetavana. Yeah.
Jetavana.
Yes. What happened to him after some time, that he lost a lot of his money and wealth. His lot of wealthy stuff were flushed away by a flood. And then a lot of things happened to him. So one day when he came to see the Buddha knew this issue. He told him, dear banker, he was a banker, don't worry. We are okay to eat any food. Just prepare whatever you have. Do not try to see. It was very compassionate, right? He didn't say, you are a banker, offer us all the good things. He said, we know your situation. So if you cannot afford, you can give us the normal food, not those kind of divine food. He said, no, I'm going to do the best that I could. And then one night, the house deva, his palace, he appeared in front of his bedchamber. Then he asked, who are you? He said, I'm the house deva at the front door. And then house deva said, now see what has happened to you. You have no money, no wealth. Why you go and invite the Buddha and monks? Because this deva is not a sammadittika deva, not a good one. Every time Buddha and monks were coming to his house, he has to go ascend from his place, from the door, and then has to respect. He said, now you stop giving, take some rest. Then he chased him out. That day. Interesting story. I will do the same what I could. So the idea is that Bumma Devas are very connected to us, right? They are everywhere. I mean, I'm not trying to scare you off. I'm trying to say that they can't do anything wrong to you if you are a good person. Especially if you are a good person, they will protect you. So now the Dhammacakka, what you call turning of the Dhammacakka first went to them. Bumma Deva, they were on the ground, right? So they were like, they made a cry, oh, something happened to all of us, something going on here. Benares, Vigadaya, Dhammacakka was first introduced by the Shakyamuni Buddha. Along with that, he says, Etam Bhagavata Varanasya at Varanasi, in the deer park of Isipata, Vigadaya, Anuttaran Dhammacakkappavattana, unsurpassed Dhammacakka was set in motion by the Buddha. Not even that they understand, this is a very special thing, not anybody can do other than the Buddha. Appativattiya cannot be stopped by any. So this, what you call setting Dhamma wheel in motion cannot be done by any samana, any Brahman, I would say any Brahmin, any Deva, any Mara, right? And all these people, Kena Chiva, Lokasmin, Mara, Brahman. Now we have to understand who these people are. Samanenava, who are the samanas? Anybody who turn to the self-practice, anti-Brahmanas people. Huh? They are some. They can't do this. Any Brahmanas, who are Brahmanas? Brahmanas, who are the priestly class, right? Who were the go-between, the god and the people. They cannot do this too. Devenava, no deva in any of the heavens. Marenava. Marenava means by the Mara, Vasavati Mara. He can't do this too. Brahmanava, any Brahma. Kena Chivanu Kasmi. Nobody can set the Dhamma wheel in motion other than the Samma Sambuddha. Now Bumma Deva starts thinking this. Oh, so we made a cry because this Dhammacakka, setting the Dhammacakka in motion cannot be done by anybody other than. Now this cry was overheard by other heavens going higher. Now see what are those heavens. I'm only taking up the names because of the time. Bummanan Devanan Sabda, having heard the cry of the gods, I would say Devas on the ground, Chatum Maharajika Deva. It went to Chatum Maharajika. This is the first. What is it? What does Chatum Maharajika mean? Chatum Maharajika is the first heaven. In the, they say it's an aerial heaven. Right? Now there are 4 gods in the Chatum Maharajika. We call them Ti-Ratana, Virudha, Virupakka, and Vesavan. Ti-Ratana of the east, lord of the Gandhabas. The Gandhabas are kind of beings who are good at music in the heaven. So this is one deva in the Chatum Maharajika. Second is Virudha. Probably I can write it here. Chatum Maharajika. Right. The first one is called as Ti-Ratana. Second is called Virudha. Third is called Virupakka. Fourth is called Vessavana. These are the four names of the Deva there. They are the most powerful Devas in the Chaturmaharajika heaven. Tataratta has Gandharvas, Viruda has Kumbhatas, Virupakka has Nagas, Vessavana has Yakas. Now the interesting thing is that most of the followers of Tataratta, Viruda, Virupakka, Vessavana, who are they? Gandharvas, then Kumbhandas, Nagas, and Yakas are not resident in Chaturmaharaj. Interesting, huh? They are not residents, they are elsewhere living. Right? It's like that you become a citizen of a country, but you are not living in there. Right? You are not resident in there. So they are not resident with the Chaturmaharajika Devas. Those four Devas are there, but others are sometimes in the human world too. Oh, that is Chaturma. Now the cry went up to the Chaturmaharajika because they heard from the Bhumma Devas. Bhumma Devas made a cry, and then it was overheard by the Chaturmaharajika Devas.
Oh.
Then now Chaturmaharajika Devas made a cry also, because after hearing this, what happened? It went up to Tavatinsa. See? It went up to the Tavatinsa heaven. Tavatinsa means it is the highest heaven that operates, functions with the human world. Sakka lives in there. And then they also made a cry after hearing that Dhammacakka was set in motion. The wheel of Dhammacakka was set in motion by the Buddha. It cannot be done by anybody. They made a cry as a surprise. And then it went up to the next higher heaven. What is it?
Is it Tusita?
Tavatinsanandeva. Yamadi. Yam. It went to Yam. This is another higher Deva world. And then Yama Deva also made a cry. It went up to Tusita. This is an interesting place. Huh? Tusita. Tusita means the place where most of the bodhisattvas, all bodhisattvas are reborn before they become Buddha. Tusita. Even bodhisattvas are reborn in there before the last birth. Bodhisattva's mother passed away and then reborn in this place too, Tusita. Now, Tusita Deva also made a cry. Why did they make a cry? Now, what will happen to you when you're scared? Tell me. In case you got scared somewhere, what would you do? What will be naturally happening to you?
Scream.
Do you make some words when you were scared all of a sudden?
Yeah.
What do you normally make? Don't say bad words. Say, oh, you scared me. You scared me. Oh, thank you. Say maybe another word, because the moment that you got surprised, maybe you were scared, you make some words. In the same way, these devas were like, they got to hear this, and they could not help not saying any word. They make a sound, kind of a cry. So all the time, any cry that is made by Deva was normally disseminated to the other higher worlds, kind of a chain. After this, from the Tusita, the cry went up to the next one. That means Nimmana Rati. What is it? Nimmana Rati. What is Nimmana Rati? This is the seventh Deva world, right? This is the seventh Deva, and a very interesting Deva world, as we see that the head Deva in this place called Sunimmita. Right? Sunimmita is the Deva over there. So Nimmana Rati Deva world has something very interesting. The interesting thing in that heaven is that the world, that Nimmana Rati heaven is maintained by Maras. We call the last two heavens are maintained by the Maras. All right. And another thing is that it is said that loyal spouses, especially women, ladies, who are very loyal to their husband, they have a high chance of being reborn in this. Mostly, I would say, most of the very ideal women that we know, they were reborn in Nimmanarati. I think even Vishaka. You got to check it out. Vishaka. See Vishaka? I think she was reborn in Nimma, although she became Sota. Yes, she was reborn in the Nimmanarati heaven. She became a Mara. Really? But she was Sotapan. That means, although she was reborn there, her life will be maximum going for 7 rebirths. There's this particular kind of deva called, yes, Kim?
Bhante, I didn't hear, what do you say? Women who are very with to their husband will be reborn.
Well, you don't take it personally. But what we understand from the text is that any lady, I would say, supposing there's a good marriage and she's keeping to her, to her practice. And if that practice goes well, they are supposed to be reborn as a Manapakaika Deva. That means a particular Deva in the Nimmanarati heaven. So that is a special benefit that they are getting. Those ladies actually in the human world, when they die, they pass away, they are supposed to be reborn as a Nimmanarati Deva. Actually, there was a monk at the time of the Buddha called Anuruddha. His name was Anuruddha. This monk is Arahanta. He could see the Nimmanarati Deva very well. So some Nimmanarati Deva come to see Bhante Anuruddha. They say to him, Bhante, if you think any color, you just think about it, we will know it, we will become that color. Then Bhante Anuruddha thought, okay, maybe blue color. They became blue right away. Right? Yes, this Manapakaika Deva in the Nimmanarati. They can create anything, whatever they want. They can create sounds. Yeah. Anyways, Nimmanarati. Then final one is Paranimita Vasavati. That's the last one. You know the Vasavati Mara is living, supposed to be living. This is the place. So now the cry went up to the Paranimita Vasavati. If I make a chart, Devas on the ground here, it went up to the first aerial heaven, then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay, now the understanding that the Buddha conducted the Dhammacakka. He said the Dhammacakka. He said the Dhammacakka in motion went up to all these heavens. That is what we have to understand here. And finally, at this section, we learn is because we are going to stop at 100 and what was the number that we're going to stop? 167. It's over here. Because at the section of 167, the cry has already been to the highest heaven, and then it is going to go to the Brahma world, see Brahmakaika. So we'll be discussing that next time. So what you need to understand here, Dhamma folks, is that in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the Buddha for the first time introduced what he learned and then what he wanted to tell. After he gave the first talk to 5 ascetics, then he formally set the Dhamma wheel in motion. Once he done that, that particular phenomenon was very visible to all the heavens. It went up to all the heavens. Every being in those heavens, they felt it. They could not avoid it. They felt it with a surprise, as a cry, right? And now it is still going to other Brahma worlds too. That means a powerful message. This most powerful message was going to all these heavens. All right, any questions?
Bhante, the beings in the Wufu state cannot hear the Dhammacakka, Bhante.
No, we don't see that. But they experience a tremor, an earthquake. And we know when the Buddha, when the ascetic Siddhartha became the Buddha, lots of hellish beings were released, I think. Those who were blind, they were turned to be people who can see after that day. There were a lot of things happen on that day. It's like, you know, a national independence day of a country. The government releases minor criminals. Huh? Do they? They do. They do. Okay. Today,
yes.
National Independence Day, we release some criminals. We think that they are rehabilitated.
Mm.
Right. So that was the day. So even to be in a hell at that time is good. It is not good to be going to hell. But anyways, hellish beings at that time get into some privileges, because if you were in a hell, that time you were getting some privileges because Buddha is reborn. But what about us? We should have been somewhere, right? So anyways, it didn't go to, the cry didn't go to hell, but when there is a natural phenomenon where they saw a brightest aura, they saw the brightest aura. At the same time, things happened, like blind people became eyed people, deaf people turned to hear things, lame people could walk. These things happened. But it didn't work. The Dhammacakka didn't, because the people in the hell, beings in the hell cannot see the Dhammacakka, but they have gone to hells by, being dropped with the Dhamma, right? So they can't.
Bhante, the earthbound devas include Nagas and Yakas.
Not necessarily. The problem arises again. I said to you, Nagas, Kumbhandas, Gandhabas, and Yakas are supposed to be in the Chatum Maharajika, but they are non-residents. They are not residents in that heaven. They are the retinue of the four devas. Tataratta, Viruda, Virupakka, Vesavana. But they are living elsewhere. I think they are mostly living with the humans. In watery abode, Nagas are living with the watery places, at watery places, and Yakas are living some other places in the human world too, but they are non-resident in the Chatur Maharajika. Yeah, probably they could travel.
Bhante, the Nagas must refer to serpent, serpent king.
Nagas are not actual snakes. They are not snakes. They are snake-type beings.
Oh, okay.
Snake-type beings. They are powerful beings. Some Nagas can become humans. Not become humans. They can act like a human. They can disguise as a human, but they are Nagas.
Bhante, during when the Buddha gained enlightenment, and then Vara challenged the Buddha, and then the Buddha asking for weakness where he touched the ground, and then the Earth Deva came out, something like that.
Earth Deva.
Or Mother Nature.
Motherly nature. We say motherly nature because this is a very interesting point. I think I said one day, whatever we do is recorded somewhere. We don't know where they are recorded. That means, let's say you are a good human being, even the nature will testify what you've been doing. This nature. We don't say nature. Now the Hinduism says that they have made nature stuff anthropomorphic. When the rain is raining, there is a deva. They made it anthropomorphic. But when the Buddha touched the ground, the motherly nature, I would say, gave lots of tremors. Because the motherly, what you call earth, knew how much sacrifices he had been doing by that point. We can't say it was a deva. It could be a cosmic thing, natural cosmic thing.
I think in Thai temples, they have this image of this earth goddess. they call you what? Me Turani. And then with long hair. And then the story, the legend where she
Yeah,
she
they
let the
are
hair and then wash away all the maras. All the soldiers.
they are representations that came into being after some time. They are not what we see in the text.
Okay.
In the text, Deva, sometimes they are under human beings too. Then why the Deva went up to the chamber of the bed of the king and said, please, you can cut me into 6-7 pieces. Don't cut my tree. He said to the king, there are my children living in that tree. We can't go anywhere. We become homeless. Deva, Bhuma Deva can be homeless at that point, you know. You want to make a Bhuma Deva homeless? I don't think. You don't want them to be homeless. So what we want to learn here is that in the murals, temple murals, there are a lot of things they have been carved. But if you look at the text, they are mostly imaginations. They are mostly cultural, ritual understands about who he is, right? Who she is. But some carry some truth too. Yeah.
Bhante, when you go forth to become a monk, they ask you, are you human? Are you a Naga?
Yeah,
That
that's
means,
why. That's because some Nagas wanted to become monks. Then they disguised as a human, they went up to the monastery. But then at night, they become snakes.
Oh,
real snakes. So Buddha knew that. That's why Buddha made a rule to the monks. If you want to ordain somebody, you have to ask it. Did you get the permission from mother, father? Are you a Naga? Because these amanussas cannot lie. You know that? Manussas can lie. Non-humans cannot lie.
non-human.
Yeah, they can never lie. Interesting. So let's say a Naga is going to a temple like a human. I want to become a monk. Are you a Naga? He cannot say no. I'm a Naga. Right? Like a small baby. They never lie. That's why Buddha made that. Also yakkas. Are you a yakka? That's why when the witchcraft people doing some stuff, they are asking, somebody got a kind of a trance, a dead being. Are you a yakka? If you are a yakka, you have to go away from this body. You have to accept it. Non-humans don't have lots of drama. Right? Only the humans have drama. All right. Any more questions? We'll take another 1 minute and then we're going to go to the transfer.
Yeah. Bhante, can I ask you, somebody who can see unseen beings, is it an advantage or a disadvantage to the person?
I think it's a disturbance.
Oh.
A dog can hear lots of range of sound, probably 16,000 hertz. That's why dog cannot sleep. He wants to sleep. He looks like sleeping, but he cannot sleep.
Oh.
Humans, we don't hear that much. Maybe the non-human sound, so we can sleep peacefully.
You mentioned what? A dova.
Dog.
D-O-G, dog.
Dog, okay.
Animals, one animal. There are other animals who can hear too. So I'm telling you, humans have been granted naturally a certain range of hearing capacity, certain range of seeing capacity. It is good. If you're going to see everything, then you cannot sleep. You cannot do your things. You can see all the petas in front of you, all the bhutas in front of you. What is this? I can't do my work. All these people are coming to me. Right? I think it's a disturbance. It's a disturbance. I think we don't want to see Deva too. Because if we are good people, then that's okay. That's it. That's why the Buddha says, human world is the perfect place to practice Dhamma, not the Deva world. Deva world, only happiness. Too much happiness. That is why when the Deva came to see the Buddha started talking about anicca, impermanence. Then Deva fainted. Most Deva fainted. They are terrified. You know why? They never heard that their happiness will finish one day. First time they hearing from the Buddha, they fell down. Then again come back to know. They again regain consciousness. They again fainted. Again, what did you say? Anicca again. Interesting. So better not to see them. Better to see other human beings who are still living and then cooperate with them as Kalyana Mittas and practice and die one day. That is better than seeing these non-humans. But if you are a weak person, they happen to come to see you. You know who are weak, they can feel it. That is why weak people say, somebody went here, I heard some sound, I felt somebody in my house. Because they believe a lot. When you believe something, even they are non-existent, these you are creating that they are living in. They may be living, but you are creating. Yes, now you have a question? Yes.
Yes, Bhante, about the Dhamma that Buddha's teaching. Am I correct to assume that the previous Buddhas are also teaching the same Dhamma?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Same Dhamma.
Yeah.
But with
And
different names. I mean, their personal names could be different, same Four Noble Truths, same Dhamma. Because the Buddha himself said in one sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, I think the sutta's name is Nagara Sutta. He said, this Dhammacakka, even the conducting of the Dhammacakka and all the Dhamma, the presentation of my Dhamma is just as finding a buried city. The city was already there, but it's buried for some reason. I am refinding that buried city. Now, this is the same thing. Buddha Metteyya also going to say. I am going to, unearthen the buried city that was made by Buddha Shakyamuni Gautama. Yeah, so it was not an innovation in terms of the Buddhas, but it is an innovation of the time. Right?
And
Yeah.
another question, Bhante. I am under the impression that Mara is something that is like not a Deva. How come they are living in the Deva realm?
Mara is a Deva. We call him, the full name is Vasavatti Mara. Okay.
So they are, when they say Buddha was enlightened, so there's this Mara that comes and
yeah, he didn't like, because he is the highest person in the Kama world. This whole human world. He doesn't like anybody attain Nibbana. Why is it?
out of that.
He likes people to enjoy comforts.
Yes, understand.
Panchakam.
Yeah,
If somebody, now this is not somebody, now this person is going to become the Buddha, and then telling that truth to 100,000 people, will he like it? Will he like that idea?
Yeah.
This person is going to become the Samma Sambuddha. Now then teaching that whatever the Dhamma he understood to 100,000 people, more than that, and all become Sotapan. So Mara is losing his territory. Will he like it? I don't think so.
Okay.
Not at all. That is why he is going to. So that means all Devas are not good Deva. That thing I want to say. Go to Atanati Sutta. Atanati, the sutta that monks chant in the all night periods, Parthi chanting. There it says, some Yakka said, we don't like the Buddha. Who is Yakka here? Who is Yakkas? Followers of the Chatur Maharajika Deva called Vessaman. They are non-resident. They are going everywhere. They said, we don't like the idea not to kill, not to steal, not to misbehave, not to lie, not to be. We want to kill people. We want to steal. Now, these are the yakkas that come to the criminals' mind. Sometimes they are driven by those yakkas, criminals. Some yakkas say, no, we like Panatipata Vedamani. We want to refrain from Panatipata, we refrain. They are good yakkas, good Deva. We call them Sammadittika Deva, good Deva. That means not all Devas are Buddhist Deva. There are non-Buddhist Devas too. Okay. There are a lot of non-Buddhist Deva. If you go to India, you see lots of non-Buddhist people are asking, hey Deva, come and do something, destroy that person. Can't be a good Deva. Right? Bad Deva. We can't say bad Deva. We could say Deva who is not Buddhist. Not all Deva respected the Buddha. Right? There are many instances. I think the time is going up. So that is Mara is the highest deva. He is not evil. Like let's say we can't say he's an evil deva, but he doesn't like somebody attain Sotapana. Somebody stop the Sansa. He doesn't like somebody become the Samma Sambuddha and going to remember that incident. After the Buddha passed away, there were lots of events happen about the Buddha's physical body. There was a monk who was sweeping the floor, the compound of the temple, very, I think, very artistic way. And then he is looking at the garbage heap of the garbage that he collected. Then he was meditating on that. Mara saw this. Now Mara knew this can concentrate the way how he swept the floor compound, how he is contemplating on that heap of the garbage will definitely help the monk become an arahant. So he came in. He said, don't do that. Don't meditate on it. Then he, because Mara is so powerful, everybody knows, spiritual people know. Then monk said, okay, I will not do it. But on one condition. What is the condition? Can you become the Shakyamuni Sambuddha, the real true Shakyamuni? Now he passed away already by that time. Can you show me the real Sambuddha? He said, what a easy thing. I know him very well. I had lots of fights with him. Give me a second. Then he turned to be the Shakyamuni Samma Sambuddha in a body-wise. The moment he became so, the monk saw the real Buddha, he became an arahant. Right? He was very mad. What happened? You said you would not do it. Now you did it. You became an arahant. Now the Buddha statues that we have, they are not reflecting the true Buddha. They show mostly the most beautiful man in that country. So go to Korea, the Buddha is really ferocious. Korean Buddha. Thailand is a different. Sri Lanka is different. So true Buddha, because Mara knows that. Mara can become anybody. Right? He is not that like a bad yakka who say we want to kill, we want to steal. He's just a normal person, but he doesn't like people practice spirituality and become somebody who is not under his control. Other than that, he's okay. All right. Any more questions? Not today. Huh? With that, I want to say next week I'm going to take a session off because of the time. I was trying to avoid that, but they asked me if I could do a retreat. That's in Pahang actually. So I would have to say let's reschedule for the other Friday. That means we're gonna be then skipping 25th. 25th there is no Sutta study class. I will tell you. Then we will be meeting September 1st of the month, right? All right. So may all the good karmas be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. May they be well and happy. If they were reborn in a place of pain, may they be able to release from these places and to be reborn in places of comfort so that they can learn, practice more Dhamma, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me jnati nang huntu sukhita huntu jnatayu. Idam me jnati nang huntu sukhita huntu jnatayu. Idam me jnati nang huntu sukhita huntu jnatayu. May Deva Naga Mahitka share all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, and safety. May Devanaga Mahitka also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika. Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu lokasasana. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika. Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahittika. Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti. Chirang rakkhantu mang sadati. May we be in the company of the Kalyana Mittas and not with the Papa Mittas. Still we finalize our spiritual journey at Nibbana. Thinking thus, we're going to make a wish. Imina punya kammena mame bada samagamu satang samagamu yavani bada pattiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulated today in different ways be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana Siddhissa Niccang Vaddha Pachayino Chattaru Dhamma Vaddhanti Ayuvanno Sukham Balan Ayurarupti Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminati Saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And I think Brother Lim, the Ti-Ratana Vihara's the retreat that we're going to be doing on September 2nd. We got already some people, so we wanted to spread the word across because we are seeing again on September 1st, that means previous day, 1 day prior to the retreat. So yeah, please spread the word across in your friend circles, your Dhamma friend circle. I think we can go to an optimal number of participants.
Yeah.
We have space, right? We have,
Yeah,
so,
correct.
hopefully, yes. So if you want to let this know to your friends, so please spread the word across. You have anything to say on the Vihara side? Please?
Yeah. So just Bhante said, we are lucky that Bhante Chandima organized a 1-day non-stay retreat, Vipassana, the mindfulness retreat in our Vihara. So I would like to announce that those who are interested in this retreat, please let me know. We got the link already, so you can just register. And
can you
this
post it under the chat here? So if they want to send to somebody.
Yeah.
You have the link. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, while you're talking.
Brother Lim, how many already so far?
21.
22 I saw today.
23 minus the 2 children, they mean 21.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Okay, the link.
So the person who should be contacted is another person, right? And
yeah, Brother Eddie.
Brother
Right.
Eddie. Yeah.
You contact me also can.
Okay.
Okay, I will put the link here.
I just shared the link, brother.
Done
And then,
already.
yeah, I just shared the link.
Share
In the TRV share already.
So we had a very successful 1-day non-stay retreat here in Kota Bharu. The first time that they hosted a 1-day mindfulness retreat here and got around like 32 people. Normally they go for like a couple of days, but yeah, because of non-stay and 1 day, even young people were interested about it because you don't have to stay in the place. So yeah. Anyways, this is not something mandatory. If you would like to come, you can come. If you want to introduce one of your friends, you can let them know too. Yeah. Brother Lim, you are far away. You are in Johor.
Yeah.
Tisilim. Yes.
Okay, I put the link here in the form. Is anything? Okay.
Yes, and we have we have made the date as 28 for the logistic reasons, because we want to, Dana and all that, right? Yeah, get a sense of
Yeah.
how many people will be attending. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully then we can see you all here to join the 1 day non-stay mindfulness retreat.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Wishing you a good night, everybody.
Okay, good night, Bhante.
Wishing you a safe
Good
trip,
night.
Kim and Hima.
Thank you.
Wonderful trip in Sri Lanka. Be
Yeah.
safe. Yes. Right.
Mm.
For others, good night, everybody. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.